All right, this is your quiz. Sorry, this is your startup for week number 4. Number 1, it says if EF is equal to 2x minus 12 and FG is 3x minus 15 and EG, so the whole thing is 23 units. Find the values of X, EF, and FG. So 3 things we're looking for. Of course, the diagram is not to scale. Now, by segment addition postulate, we know that EF plus FG is equal to EG. All that tells me is the 2 parts added together equal the whole. So I can substitute in 2x minus 12 plus 3x minus 15 equals the whole thing of 23. So from here we're solving for x. Solve the equation for x. 2x and 3x gives me 5x. A negative 12 and a negative 15 gives me a negative 27 equals 23. Add 27. 5x is equal to 50. Divide by 5. X equals 10. Now, not only did it want to find the value of x, but we also had to find EF. So since we know EF equals 2x minus 12, we substitute x in. So 20 minus 12 gives us 8. And then FG equals 3x minus 15. So 3 times 10 minus 15 equals 15. And just as a quick check, 8 plus 15 gives me 23. So that lets me know we've done something correct. Number 2. If T is the midpoint of SU, very important right there, S, midpoint SU, T midpoint of SU. So that means T is the halfway point from S to U. Therefore, this segment is congruent to that segment. Find the values of X and ST. To find X, we set the 2 values equal to each other. 9x equals 4x plus 25. We're going to solve for X. 5x equals 25. Divide by 5. X equals 5. But it also wants to know what ST is. Since ST equals 9x, that equals 9 times 5, which is 45. So our 2 answers, ST is 45 and X equals 5. Number 3, if the measure of DEF, so we're looking from here, DEF equals 122 degrees. Then what are the measures of angle EFG? So we're looking at EFG. We also want to know the measure of HEG. So those 2 angles. Now, this is some stuff that we've not been taught yet. But since this is a line here, that means that this angle and this angle will add up to 180. So I'm going to call this X. So the measure of FEG is we're going to call X. So therefore 122 plus X equals 180. Subtract from both sides. So X equals 58. So in order to find HEG, since this is 58, we could call this Y. And since we have a line formed here, 58 plus Y equals 180. And if we subtract, we will see that y is now equal to 122. That's degrees. We'll also learn a property that makes this much simpler in the coming days. And number 4. We're told that ray MO bisects angle LMN. LMN is right here. And we will learn what this word means here very soon. Bisect. It essentially means to cut into 2 equal parts. So therefore, if this is 8x minus 23, and this one is 2x plus 37, in order to solve for x, we would treat this or solve this like it was a segment midpoint. So that means that this portion and this portion are the same. So 8x minus 23 equals 2x plus 37. Solve for x. 6x minus 23 equals 37. Add 23. So 6x equals 60. X equals 10. But it says solve for LMN. So we're actually wanting to know the measure of LMN. So the whole thing. If I plug in X just into one of them, I don't get that. But I have to plug them into, or plug it into both of them and add it together. So I plugged in X into both. So we have 80 minus 23 plus 20 plus 37. Plugging that into a calculator, we get 114. And that is the measure of angle LMN. Number 5, we're going to use that same concept, same property. MO bisects. Understand, when a ray bisects an angle, it divides it into 2 equal parts. So this angle of the whole angle, rather, LMN, is equal to 5x. So the whole angle is equal to 5x minus 23. These little bitty angles in here, well, it tells us that LMO is x plus 32. And since it bisects, we can state that this angle is congruent to this angle, but it says find NMO. So we're wanting to find this angle here. We want to find this angle. So the way that we set this up, since I know the whole angle of 5x minus 23, and it is bisected, so therefore it will equal twice the amount of the other angle. So to solve, we distribute 5x minus 23 equals 2x plus 64. I'm going to subtract 2x. 3x minus 23 equals 64. Add 23. So 3x equals 87. Divide by 3. So x equals 29. That's not what it's asking. It's asking for LMN. And we know, or we will know, that because this bisects, that LMO, which is this angle here, is congruent or equal to angle NMO. And we have a value of LMO as x plus 32. So that means if x is 29, I can sub in Bring that down. So adding here of 29 and 32, that gives us 61, is the measure of NMO. And lastly, number 6, an old concept. It tells us that angle DFG and angle JKL are complementary. That means if I add them together, they will equal 90 degrees. DFG is 5x. Or I'm sorry, x plus 5. JKL is x minus 9. So we have x plus 5 plus x minus 9 equals 90, since the two angles are complementary. Combining like terms, adding 4, we have 2x equals 94. Division, x equals 47. And it says to find the measure of each angle. So that means we have to plug 47 into back into both. So angle DFG equals 47 plus 5, which is 52. And then angle JKL equals 47 minus 9, which gives us 38. So there's the value of my two angles. I wrote 47 or 49, but I meant 47. I was already looking ahead, I guess, at the 9. So there's your startup for week number 4.